take two for video two of this little unboxing of drive-through RPG books. I'd rather not talk about take one. So second up, we have DownCrawl. This is connected to SkyCrawl, which I have done an unboxing of a while ago and also did a indie spotlight on in July. SkyCrawl was, I thought, a very cool supplement, which you can sort of plug into and put on top of another role-playing game of your choice. It uses elements of Powered by the Apocalypse, but does not require that you be using Powered by the Apocalypse in your game otherwise. DownCrawl is an underground version of it. Serendipitous Adventures in a Weird Underworld by Aaron Reed. Let's see. This book will help you run randomly generated, open-ended adventures in a weird and fantastical underworld called the Deep, Deep Down, a place so far from the surface that the sun and the sky are only legends, so vast that no bounds can be placed on its dimensions or contents. Compatible with any fantasy role-playing system, Dungeon Crawl, that's where I'm at. DownCrawl contains rules for taking dangerous journeys through unmapped places, tables of fungi with curious effects, procedures for GMs to generate strange new peoples, places, and encounters, and tips for running a satisfying, spontaneous campaign when your players might explore in any of 6 directions. Oh, and huge intelligent spiders who eat faces. Watch out for those. So, anyhow, Aaron E. Reed, again, I believe the same person behind SkyCrawl. It has a general idea of the setting. The Down is vast, the Down is challenging, the Down is weird, the Down is isolated, in ways in which that is true. Deep folk, player-directed stories, and it's got a section on how to use this book. Has a little bit of an explanation of moves and roles, moves coming from Powered by the Apocalypse, but again, you don't need to be using Powered by the Apocalypse in order to use the system. It just uses elements of it in the plug-in part of this. Excuse me. So volumes, it seems to use these volumes instead of hexes, if I'm reading this right. So it's less, I'm not sure. If I was correct in the way SkyCrawl worked, it's sort of a little more fuzzy in the specifics, but that gives you a certain freedom within that. Anyway. Update the map. It is similar. It looks like it has some similarities to SkyCrawl in how it's hard to necessarily maintain an objective concept of where you are at any given time, but that doesn't mean you can't find your way around. It's a little hard to explain, but it is explained well. At least in SkyCrawl, it's explained well, and I'm assuming that it is in here as well. It looks like it has some very similar systems to SkyCrawl. Things like planning your journey, which gives you a better ability to make it to where you're planning to go. A day on the road, so there's like the journey and what happens on it, and there are things that can be affected. Travel rolls, journey on, lost, what happens on arrival. Encampment. We have fungi. Great. Table of fungal effects. I like it. So just let's see. This is a roll 2d20. And where's my other 20-sided die? I'm staring right at it. So let's see, that is a 19. Oh, okay. One that just adds to your travel effect. Doesn't have much else. Let me see if I can find something a little more interesting here. 13. Rarely Afraid. Okay. So yeah, so you take these things and who knows what's going to happen. Major healing. Skin changes color based on your emotions, like a mood ring. Oh, and it has that one has a side effect. You only think you can see this happening and are insufferable about it. Okay. Naming fungi, side effects, fungal druggists. So, you could have a whole other career in there. Section on running DownCrawl. And again, this is more of a toolbox than a specified setting. It has elements of it that give you sort of an idea of what it could or should be, but you can shift that tone. Again, I'm assuming based on reading SkyCrawl, and this seems to have the same general premise and general handling of it, is that you can then make it your own and make it fit more. Like with SkyCrawl, I could see doing very high fantasy, spelljammery magic ships, but I could also see doing a kind of steampunky, ironclads in space kind of thing, or other variations of that sort of idea. So we have, generators. This has a creating folk thing, which, again, SkyCrawl also had. It was a really neat way to make non-traditional people for your characters to meet in these places. Let me see what we have here. Roll the d20. 7. That's 7 even odd. So let's see. Table of folk ideas. Roll d20 and any other die to use. I'm not going to go through and do it. Anyway, it's a neat way to make these different peoples. Table of reputations. Creating volumes. So this is, instead of hexes, it's using these volumes, and this is how you actually make them. 2d8, read the numbers, so it's from top to bottom. Okay, sure. Let's see, determine volume themes, volume terrain. So, anyhow, whole bunch of different things. We've got some challenges, NPC generator, just like some of the artwork. Some example folks, they've actually prepped some, but you can make your own. Some example volumes, same deal. Section on world building, okay, cool. Currency, languages, I like all that. Random table of currencies, okay. Legends of the Surface, so yeah, this is all very cool. Oh, it has some recommended reading. Dungeon World, The Perilous Wilds, Veins of the Earth, Wolfskin, Wormskin. I can't read, seriously. Stars Without Numbers, Masks, 1,000 Memorable NPCs for a New Role-Playing Game. Okay. Anyway, books, Alice in Wonderland, Magica. It's got a few others in there. Journey to the Center of the Earth. That's a good one. Wayne Barlow art for suggestions. Barlow's great. It's got some even digital games. Cool. So, yeah. Anyway, I've rambled a bit. But DownCrawl looks pretty good. Looks very similar to SkyCrawl, except obviously with an underground theme versus a flying around in space theme. Yeah, if you want to, I guess, enhance your dungeon crawling, then you might check out DownCrawl. It looks like a pretty cool tool chest to have for GM for whatever game. All right, the usual stuff. Check below. Check out my links. If you go through my blog down there, I have a link to my Drive-Thru RPG page where you can, if you buy anything, if you go through that link and you buy anything, I get a little percentage of that back at no extra cost to you, which helps me to buy stuff like this. I was able to basically get rid of the shipping, the shipping costs on this using some affiliate link stuff from there. So it was helpful. So I appreciate that. Anyhow, until the next video, take care.